Hello students, you are welcome to the GMAETS41's mathematics class. In our class today, I will be teaching you the rules of divisibility. What do we mean by that? Rules of divisibility. These simply are the rules you need to know, I need to know whenever I am doing division. If you give me a number to be divided by another one, how will I get to know that these numbers can divide without remainder? For example, if you give me 30 divided by 3, how will I know that 3 can divide 30 and there will be no remainder? That is what we mean by the rules of divisibility. If you give me 28 to be divided by 2, how will I know that 2 can divide 28 without remainder? Let us look at these rules. We are going to learn from dividing by 2 down to dividing by 10. Okay? On the board here, we are starting with dividing by 2. How will you know if a number can be divided by 2? So we have this short note on the board here. A number can be divided by 2 if, I want to give you the condition now, so you pay attention. If the last digit of the number is an even number, or if the last digit of the number is 0. So you see, there are two conditions there for you to know that a number can be divided by 2. Condition number 1, it is either the number ends with an even number. That is, the last digit of the number is even number. Or the last digit of the number is what? 0. Then it means that 2 can divide that number. Before we look at this question as an example to explain this, let us first of all get to know what even numbers are. Even numbers are numbers that 2 can divide and there will be no remainder. Examples of even numbers include 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. It continues. Okay? Now, our interest will be these 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 because of this 0. Are you getting me right? The other ones from 12, 14, 16 are simply repetition of 2, 4, 6, 8 because their last digit will end with all these ones. For example, 12, the last digit of 12 ends with 2, and 12 is an even number. 14 is an even number, its last digit ends with 4. 18 is an even number, the last digit of 18 is 8. Are you following? Okay, now we have known some examples of even numbers. This is how the thing moves from 2 to 4, it continues increasing 2 to 2, 2. Let us quickly look at this example on the board. In question 4, we want to find out the numbers here that can be divisible by 2, that 2 can divide without any remainder. Which of the following numbers are divisible by 2? 24, 15, 2036, 319, 570. So which ones of them can be divided by 2 without remainder? It's a simple one. All we need to do is to look at their last digits. 24. The last digit of 24 is 4. Then we ask ourselves, is 4 an even number? The answer is yes. You can see it is part of even number. Since 24 ends with 4, the last digit is 4, and 4 is an even number, it means that 2 can divide 24. That is why under the answer here I wrote 24. 2 can divide it. Let's move on. 15. The last digit of 15 is 5. Is 5 an even number? Oh no, it's not. You can look at it. 5 is not an even number. 5 is an odd number. Okay, it's an odd number. It is also a prime number anyway, but let's take it as an odd number for now. So, because the last digit in 15 is not an even number, it means that 2 cannot divide 15. And that is why I don't have 15 here. Is that okay? Let's move on to the next one. 2036. What is the last digit in this number? The last digit is 6. 6 is an even number. It simply means that 2 can divide 2036. 2036 is divisible by 2. Let's go to the next one, 319. You see clearly the last digit is 9. 9 is not an even number. 9 is an odd number. Therefore, 2 cannot divide 319. That is why I don't have that 319 here. We are looking for the numbers that 2 can divide without remainder. 570 is the next one. What is the last digit there? The last digit is 0. And we said that if the last digit of a number ends with an even number or 0, it means that 2 can what? Divide it. In fact, let me underline the key words, the most important statement here. The last digit should either be even number or 0. Now, since the last digit in 570 is 0, it means that 2 can divide 570. So the numbers from here that can be divided by 2 are 24, 2036, 570. You know the reason why. 24 ends with even number, 2036 ends with an even number, which is 6, 570 ends with 0. So 2 can divide them. Let's move on to the second rule, dividing by 3. So if I give you a number to be divided by 3, how would you know if 3 can actually divide that number? We have this note on the board to guide you. For a number to be divided by 3, the sum means addition. The sum, the addition of the digits in that number should give you something that 3 can divide. That's the meaning of this. So if you add the digits in that number, what you get, if 3 can divide it, if 3 can divide what you got there, it means that 3 can divide the number itself. Question: which of the following numbers can be divided by 3? We have the numbers 18, 25, 4,110. So quickly, how do we check for it? If 3 can divide the number there. 18, let's start. 18, what are the digits there? 1 and 8. So we are going to add 1 plus 8 and see what we'll get. 1 plus 8 will give us what? 9. Can 3 divide 9? Yes. 9 is a factor of 3. 9 is a multiple of 3. 3 is a factor of 9. Remember in our previous class, I already taught you factors and multiples, okay? 9 is a multiple of 3. It means that 3 is a factor of 9. Therefore, 3 can divide 9 without remainder. If you go to 3 times 3, you notice 3 times 3 will give you 9. Okay? So, since we know that 3 can divide 9, it means that 3 can also divide 18. So here, one of the numbers that 3 can divide, 18 is accepted. Let's move on to 25. The digits in 25 are 2 and 5. If you add 2 plus 5, you get 7. 7 is not a multiple of 3. It means that 3 is not a factor of 7. Therefore, 3 cannot divide 7. If you go to 3 times table, you cannot multiply 3 by any number to get 7. Alright, since the sum, the addition of this digit gave us 7, and 3 cannot divide 7, it means that 3 cannot divide 25. 3 cannot divide it. So this 25 is not divisible by 3. Let's move on to 4,110. Let's add up the digits. The digits are 4110. If you add them up, 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0, you get 6. 6 is a multiple of 3. It means that 3 is a factor of 6. Yes, 3 can divide 6. If you go to 3 times table, 3 times 2 will give you 6. It means that 3 can divide 6. Now, since 3 can divide 6, it therefore means that 3 can also divide 4,110. So that is how we know a number that 3 can divide. Now let us prepare for the next rule. Divisibility by 4 and by 5. I gave you some list of numbers, and then I want you to select the ones that 4 can divide and the ones that 5 can divide. How would you know the ones to select that they are divisible by 4 and the ones to select that they are divisible by 5? In this video, I'll be talking about this. On the board here, we have these two rules: dividing by 4 and dividing by 5. First, let us know what can help us to find out numbers that 4 can divide. I'll be a bit fast in this, okay? We have the short note here to guide us. I will underline the main point. If I give you a number and the last 2 digits of that number can be divided by 4, it means that 4 can divide the number itself. So this is the main point. The last 2 digits of the number is divisible by 4. It therefore means that 4 can divide the number itself. Quickly, we have this question here. We have a list of numbers, and we have to select the numbers that can be divided by 4. So how would I find this out? Answer. Look at this 314. The last 2 digits is 14. The last 2 digits is 14. Can 4 divide 14? If you go to multiplication table of 4, can you multiply 4 by any number to get this last 2 digits 14? Not at all. 4 cannot divide 14. Therefore, it means that 314 cannot be divided by 4. We kick it out. We won't select it. Remember, we are selecting the numbers that 4 can divide. So let us quickly move on to 728. 728. The last 2 digits there is 28. Look at it, 728. You notice that I selected it. The last 2 digits there is 28. 28 divided by 4. Yes, 28 is a multiple of 4. 4 is a factor of 28. If you go to 4 times table, you will notice that 4 times 7 will give you 28. Therefore, 28 divided by 4 is equal to 7. Now, because the last 2 digits, which is 28, in 728, the last 2 digits there can be divided by 4. It simply means that 4 can divide 728. Please, dear students, the GMAETS41 will never go tired of advising you to take your multiplication very seriously. If you know your multiplication very well, then getting to know a number that is a factor of another one will not be a problem. And once you know that this number is a factor of this, it means that you can divide it without remainder. So when you follow these rules, you should know your multiplication very well so that you will not have any trouble. If you do not know multiplication, maybe 4 times table, you will not know that 4 can divide 28. You will not. So please, don't joke with your multiplication, okay? Learn it very well. It's going to help you in all of this. The next number that 4 can divide here is 1080. Why? The last 2 digits of 1080 is 80. Now, 80 divided by 4. Yes, it's possible. 4 can divide 80 and we will get 20. We will get 20. Remember, I'm not doing the division yet. I just want you to know the rules. Very important. Now, because 4 can divide the last 2 digits 80, it simply means that 4 can also divide 1080. 4 can also divide 1080. Let's move on to the next rule. Dividing a number by 5. How can I find out that a number can be divided by 5? So this is the rule. The last digit of the number will be 5 or 0. That is to say that the number will end with the digit 5 or end with the digit 0. If it happens, it means that 5 can divide that number itself. Let's underline the main point. The last digit of the number is 5 or 0. Then it means that the number itself can be divided by 5. Question. Which of the following is divisible by 5? So we have this list of numbers. Which one can be divided by 5? All you have to do is look at them. Look at the last digit of each number. Anyone that ends with 0 or 5 can be divided by 5. 60 ends with 0. The last digit in 60 is 0. It simply means that 5 can divide 60. Yes. As a matter of fact, if you go to 5 times table, 5 times 12 will give you 60. So 5 can divide 60 to give you 12. The reason why I know, the reason why you are now knowing that 5 can divide 60 is because the last digit in 60 is what? 0. So you see I selected it. 59. 5 cannot divide 59. The last digit in 59 is 9. 9 is not 5. 9 is not 0. Therefore, 5 cannot divide 59. Remember we said for 5 to divide a number, the last digit of that number should either be 0 or what? 5. Is that okay? So 59, we'll throw it away. 100, yes, 5 can divide 100. Reason, the last digit in 100 is what? 0. So you see, I wrote it out. Then we have 155. Yes, 5 can divide 155. What is the reason? The last digit here is 5. It simply means that 5 can divide 155. Of course, if 5 divides that, you're going to get 31. Now we've learned the rules of divisibility by 4 and by what? 5. Next, we are going to learn the law or the rule of divisibility by 6 and 7.